What is poppin' YouTube? Bringing you some buy low, sell high trade targets before the weekend, before the NFL Combine. Starting it off with Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals. It's almost like people forgot how talented Kyler Murray is being a quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals do have a top 4 pick in the draft, but they will not be selecting a quarterback, especially after what we saw last year coming off an ACL for Kyler Murray in 8 games, 18.9 fantasy points per game. But let us not forget that my man Kyler Murray came in as a rookie, QB 11 on a points per game basis, then QB 3, QB 4, QB 7 in 2022. QB 7 feels like kind of the floor for Kyler Murray based on his recent production. My man is scrambling around in the pocket. He's completing passes. He has a floor of 400 rushing yards per season. So I understand why you might be a little bit worried about Kyler Murray, just because we haven't seen a quarterback of his size with his kind of athletic traits have a ton of longevity in the NFL. So as a dynasty player, you might be saying, Caleb, I just do not like investing in a quarterback like that. But you almost have to invest in a guy like Kyler Murray when he's currently going off the board as QB 11. We just talked about how his floor seems to be QB 7 year after year after year. And I understand there's some guys ahead of him, like Jordan Love on Keep Trade Cut, like Anthony Richardson on Keep Trade Cut. But I would not be surprised if after this year, Kyler Murray gets himself back cemented in that Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert tier for Dynasty Fantasy Football. So go buy some Kyler Murray, because you're not even going to have to buy that much. Like, you could add Trevor Lawrence and maybe a pick to go get Kyler Murray. If we're looking at some recent trades for Kyler Murray, we have Jalen Waddle and Jahan Dotson for Kyler Murray. Give me Kyler Murray. We have Josh Allen, Michael Wilson for Kyler Murray, Tank Dell, and a 2025 first. Give me that side of the package, even though we absolutely love Josh Allen as the 101. We got Lamar Jackson and Pat Freiermuth for Kyler Murray, a second and a third. If you're betting on Kyler Murray, that's the type of deals that I would be doing to go get Kyler Murray in any type of league. So let me know what you think of those Kyler Murray trades. Are you buying Kyler Murray? I think he's a great buy low opportunity based on his cost. My second buy low opportunity is going to be Justin Fields, who right now is in flux. You know, there's reports that he's potentially going to get traded to the Atlanta Falcons. That hasn't officially been finalized. So if you're watching this video and he has been traded somewhere, good for Justin Fields. But even if he does or doesn't get traded, he's going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. The Chicago Bears, if they keep Justin Fields, he will be the starter. If they don't keep him, he is going to be the starter wherever he does end up going. And I hear you. He hasn't been the most polished NFL quarterback. I know I'm biased as an Ohio State fan. I don't think he was set up for success in Chicago. I mean, the team has been getting rebuilt from the ground up. But QB5 in 2022, points per game. And then last year, QB9 in points per game. Imagine if he goes to Atlanta Falcons, where he has Bijan Robinson, he has Drake London, he has Kyle Pitts. Maybe he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Any situation for him is going to be better than what he currently has been experiencing with the Chicago Bears. And right now, he is down at QB 18 on Keep Trade Cut. I understand the situation is a little bit in flux. And so right now is a great opportunity to go buy low on Justin Fields. Because like I said, would you rather have Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Fields for the next 2 years? I think you're probably saying Justin Fields. You could probably go trade a Drake London straight up and go get Justin Fields. You could probably trade a Nico Collins and go get a Justin Fields. So those are some type of players that I would be willing to go trade for some Justin Fields. Go buy him, especially in a super flex league. He's going to be super valuable. He will end up being a top 14 quarterback by the end of the season. So the fact that he's QB 18, go buy at these rock bottom prices. I don't care. There's no way he's QB 18 if he starts a whole nother season. I understand the long-term outlook might not be there, but if you're a contender and you need a second quarterback, go look at some Justin Fields. The next guy we're going to be talking about is Drizzy Drake London for the Atlanta Falcons. And yes, Drizzy Drake, we were debating Garrett Wilson, Drizzy Drake back in 2022. I understand he hasn't performed up to par. Wide receiver 43, wide receiver 42 on a points per game basis. The target share is there. 109 targets in 2023, 117 targets in his rookie season, getting the ball thrown to him by Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder, who honestly, both of those guys, incapable quarterbacks. Arthur Smith is also now gone, so we can expect that these weapons, we can expect Kyle Pitts, we can expect Bijan Robinson, and we can expect Drake London. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is, to at least have improved fantasy football value, but add in the fact that potentially it's Justin Fields. Maybe they trade up and get a Jaden Daniels in the draft. Maybe worst case scenario, they get Ryan Tannehill to be the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. It is going to be up and better for Drake London. And when you really just look at that target share as a top 25 wide receiver in target share for Drake London, I'm excited to buy into Drake London. Right now on Keep Trade Cut, he is the wide receiver 14. So you're maybe probably priced about appropriate, buy low. I still think Drake London could end up being a wide receiver 9, a wide receiver 8, be by the time this season's over, because we remember we like the build of Drake London. You compare him to Mike Evans, he just hasn't been able to have the quality targets. I mean, if this season he can get to the 130, the 140 target range, with the fact that the Falcons were a bottom half passing team last season, give me some Drake London. Absolutely love that buy low opportunity for you in your dynasty leagues. And this one's going to be a super buy low, is going to be Noah Fant. I am pushing the Noah Fant button in all of my leagues that I'm in. We love some cheap tight end production here. If you can't trade for a Sam Laporta, you can't trade for a Mark Andrews, a Kyle Pitts, TJ Hawkinson, a Trey McBride, any of these younger tight ends that you're going to have to overpay for, or Travis Kelce, go see what Noah Fant is going to cost. Because even if he costs a third-round pick, maybe he's on waiver wire, maybe you have to throw in a late second, the fact that this man is going to be a free agent, he is going to step into a situation that is better than anything that he has been into this point to his career. Because he was with the Denver Broncos, really was fighting for snaps, really was fighting with Courtland Sutton for a ton of these targets. Then he goes to Seattle in the Russell Wilson trade, where, let's be clear, when you're competing with targets with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, that wasn't great. And then all of a sudden, you throw in the fact that they get JSN this last year, just buried on the target share depth chart. But let's not forget, 4.5 40-yard dash. He is still a young for being a tight end. He's 26 years old, so he has a ton more years left. Let's not remember, George Kittle really started to emerge around the age of 26 and became the George Kittle that we all know and love. So if Noah Fant ends up on this third team in a better situation, what if Noah Fant is the heir apparent to Travis Kelce? Like, I think those are some moves that I would be making right now for Noah Fant to go pick him up. Right now on KTC, Noah Fant is the tight end 28. Let's talk about some tight ends that are around him. Dawson Knox, give me Noah Fant. Luke Schumacher, give me Noah Fant. Brevin Jordan, Noah Fant. Noah Gray, Noah Fant. Like, there are some really good deals. There's even guys up like Darren Waller. Give me Noah Fant. I love me some three-legged Greg, but I think you can make the argument that Noah Fant deserves to be like a top 20, like a high-end 20, tight end 18 type tight end in Dynasty Fantasy Football. But he's right now just being super undervalued. So those are some guys that I am looking to buy. But let's talk about some guys that I'm looking to sell. And my number one sell is going to be Kyren Williams. Right now, on KTC, Kyren Williams is RB7. And I know what you're saying to me, Caleb. Well, Caleb, Kyren Williams is still super young. He is only 23 years old, and he just got off an RB2 points per game type finish this season. Why are you looking to sell him, Caleb? The main reason I'm looking to sell some Kyren Williams is Sean McVay is an absolute nutcase when it comes to running backs. Let us not forget, Kyren Williams was a 5th-round draft pick back in 2022. We are now going into year 3 of Kyren Williams, and if we look at all the running backs that Sean McVay has had, it's kind of just been a one-year thing. 2 years ago, it was Cam Akers. Like, this year was Kyren Williams. Last year, it was Darrell Henderson. The year before that, it was Cam Akers. My man likes to kind of get a different running back. And so I would not be surprised if they draft another running back. They've kind of been lacking draft capital, so they really haven't been able to put that into those type of positions for the Rams when they put all their chips in to go for the Super Bowl. So I am not saying that Kyren Williams is going to absolutely lose his total value. But right now at RB7 just feels high, because what if he does this again? He has another RB2 type finish next year. He's only going to get a year older, and right now his ceiling has been RB7. So I think right now is the perfect time to sell high. Get out on Kyren Williams. Some guys that I would be trying to trade Kyren Williams for would be someone like a Tank Dell. Could I trade him for the 107 to get like a Romo Dunze? Could I trade him for a Rashee Rice? Could I trade him for a Jordan Addison or a Trey McBride? Like, all those deals, I think longevity-wise, I'm going to be getting the better outset out of Kyren Williams. Now, you do need running backs to win. I don't want to be the guy that's now just saying, hey, have one top running back, and if you have a guy that gets top, like, trade him out. But right now, we've seen with the dynasty landscape, these running backs, pretty much 6 of these running backs are going to be a different RB1 next year. So why hold on to Kyren Williams when the worst thing that can happen is his value goes down? The best case scenario is he maintains his value. Get me out on Kyren Williams at that cost. My next guy we are going to be looking to get rid of is Kenneth Walker III. And I have had Kenneth Walker III on a ton of rosters. Right now, RB9 on keep, trade, cut. And I've been trying to trade him everywhere. And a lot of people are not biting because a lot of people are realizing, oh my goodness, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. It's an absolute nightmare for Seattle. We'll have to see what this new regime does. There's a chance Kenneth Walker doesn't even beat out Zach Charbonnet, because let's not forget, Zach Charbonnet was a 2nd-round drafted running back. Yes, is Kenneth Walker more explosive? Yes, you could say that, but I'm still very much so concerned about Kenneth Walker in Dynasty Fantasy Football, because RB16 points per game finish as a rookie, RB20 points per game finish in his sophomore campaign. He's really high up on KTC, even though he really hasn't done anything to justify the RB9 total price tag. So that's why it's like, if you can pivot right now, if I can trade Kenneth Walker for a wide receiver like If I could trade Kenneth Walker for DK Metcalf, if I could trade Kenneth Walker for Zay Flowers, if I could trade Kenneth Walker for someone like a Dalton Kincaid, like those are deals that I am trying to do. Some recent trades that have gone down for Kenneth Walker in dynasty leagues. We have Kenneth Walker and Evan Ingram for a 2021 round 1 pick and a 2nd round pick. I don't even care if that pick is like 109. Give me the pick side over Kenneth Walker. We then have another trade of Kenneth Walker and Khalil Shakir for Travis Etienne and Jerry Jeudy. I know both those wide receivers are off, but give me Travis Etienne over Kenneth Walker. We have another one of, I believe this is one quarterback, Miles Sanders and Amari Cooper for Kenneth Walker and Baker Mayfield. I mean, this one's a little bit closer. I probably want Kenneth Walker in a 1 quarterback, but you kind of get the gist on what we're doing with Kenneth Walker. We are absolutely selling Kenneth Walker. And my final sell for this video is going to be our man, DK Metcalf, the man that flexes, the man that eats Skittles, like loves his candy. But DK Metcalf deserves to be sold high right now because he is still riding a lot of the potential, riding a lot of the highlights, relying on a lot, honestly, a lot of the frame. Right now, wide receiver 26 on KTC. He's 26 years old. So he's getting to the point where we're looking at him in the prime of his career. But when you look at DK Metcalf as his stats, they're not great. Last season, only 120 targets, 66 receptions, 1,100 yards, 8 total touchdowns, 14.1 fantasy points per game. The year before that, 13.3 fantasy points per game. The year before that, 14.4 fantasy points per game. It hasn't been since 2020 when he had a 17 fantasy points per game. DK Metcalf, honestly, yes, does he have big game potential? We all remember his huge touchdown game versus the Dallas Cowboys this year, but he is boom or bust. He is Gabe Davis on steroids. That is DK Metcalf. So I want to be getting out on DK Metcalf because can he overachieve in his career? Potentially, but we do not know what this new regime is going to have. We don't know if JSN is going to step up his game. We don't know if they're going to be drafting another wide receiver this season. So what are some trade ideas that I would be doing to personally be getting off of DK Metcalf? If I could trade DK Metcalf and go get a T. Higgins, give me that. If I could trade DK Metcalf and go get Travis Etienne, I would do that. Right now, back-to-back on KTC. DK Metcalf for Zay Flowers. Give me Zay Flowers and that upside potential of what Zay Flowers could become over a guy like DK Metcalf. If we pull up DLF and see what recent trades have gone down for DK Metcalf, we have DK Metcalf for Jaden Reed and a round 2 pick. Give me Jaden Reed and a round 2 pick. Brandon Ayuk for DK Metcalf and a 2024 round 3 pick. Give me the Brandon Ayuk side there. Like, give me a round 1 pick and James Conner for DK Metcalf. I like that as well. Like I said, I don't care if that's super flex or 1 quarterback. Give me that for DK Metcalf. I know it's hard to think about selling the potential that DK Metcalf does have, but I will be looking to sell high right now on DK Metcalf's value because I'm a little bit worried that it doesn't necessarily ever recover. I don't think his stock ever fully recovers. So if you like Dynasty Fantasy Football, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.